I'm donating a really large dining room table, seats 12, and it's got all the chairs that go with it. I'm donating, this is where I'm going to cry, I'm donating the dresser my daughter and I painted when she was 12. It's got chalkboard paint on it so she could ride on it. Now she's off at college. I'm donating a couch. We call it the Christie couch because a friend of mine from college gave it to me, and now half the set is with my son who's also at college. So that's going. It's a lovely gift. So it's down, so you need to come get that couch. And what else am I donating? I think that's it. Oh, and a refrigerator, because if you're going to have a couch and a dining room table, you need the fridge to keep your food cold. So that's what I'm donating.
Well, today we have a whole bunch of items that are left over from building this house. There's an awful lot of moldings, including crown moldings and other moldings, 16 feet long pieces.
Habitat was chosen because my mother-in-law passed away, and we have a house full of furniture, and my mother-in-law, everywhere she ever lived, she knew her neighbors. They watched out for one another, and to me that's what Habitat's about, community and neighbors, and helping one another get ahead.
I think sometimes we think too small about what community is. We think it's our friends or our family or maybe our church, but community is, I think, should be a lot bigger than that, and it should include our neighbors, including neighbors that have different needs than us.
I don't know what I would have done if one of my coworkers hadn't offered for me to come and live in her basement, because I was making $1,200 a month gross. Well, that doesn't really add up to very much for a whole year when you're trying to pay your, car insurance and some housing and food. And anyway, I always will be very thankful to her for that. And maybe that's just subconsciously a little of what fuels my desire to be involved in Habitat.
We like giving to Habitat because we see the results locally and through media, other places, but it's here. It's good work.
I think the idea of home is really deeply embedded in, I would say, in everyone.
There's studies that show that when families get stable housing, kids' grades go up. That means they're more able to provide for necessities like food and medicine, and it provides this base level of stability, which I think everything else is built on.
All the programs, everything that you need in the world, nothing happens unless you have a place to live. You have to have shelter, so it's absolutely my favorite nonprofit.
It's a project of volunteer and sweat and effort. I like being a little part of a big organization.
What could be better than trying to get affordable housing for people?
We know that when you provide stable housing, that's the ground from which everything else can flourish.
Housing for people who otherwise wouldn't have housing.
I just feel like it's a win-win-win-win, and I'm happy and proud to be part of it.
We don't call it the Restore. We just call it the Habby.
Habby.
We're going over to the Habby.